that you cannot destroy the energy. Energy never gets destroyed. It changes the shape, name, form, position, but it always remains. And so that is life, living in that frequency of energy. So simply adding years to your life is like continue existing, continue living, which is meaningless, which is, as someone said, that is, you can continue living, but you may not be very happy or you may not be satisfied. Probably you are also suffering or miserable. So why would you add years? Adding years is not very difficult. Maintain certain lifestyles of eating right stuff, eating right time, sleeping well, doing physical movements, activity, keeps you healthy. And when you are physically and mentally healthy, it adds years to your life. You live longer. Living longer is not our objective. You may live short. When I say live, I mean with this body and mind. But adding life to that living is very important, which means to understand what is life and to understand that we never die. We are always alive because we are that energy. It is not just words, it's not just, let's say, good to hear, but it is something that a food for your thought. You must think about it. So short sentences sometimes can trigger a very potential thought-provoking situation unless you think about it, unless you contemplate. Many times we read pages of different short film, but we never go into detail. Is that correct?
Yes, Acharya ji.
Yes, Acharya.
All right. Other thing is, we have never spoken, but I have my very interesting subject for me is a couple of them that I always thought of sharing with you. I actually wanted to spend more time if we had met up on our planned retreat, but it did not happen. But I had that wish that we speak about certain subject that I always wanted to share. But it is not easy to share on this platform. But nevertheless, I try. How many of you have heard of parallel universe? Or
I've heard. Yes, I've heard.
okay. And how many of you have heard of the hollow earth? How many of you have heard of the civilization that exists in the inner earth? How many of you have heard of what is known as mysteries? Many encounters, many people have encountered certain what are known as a mystery, such as, there are quite a few, such as mermaid, giant food, or high jump. These are those indicators which are encountered by many people, and the intentionally or unintentionally, the media has covered it up. I've been studying it, all these things, and so I thought of talking on this, but first and foremost, you must excuse me if you do not agree on this. It is perfectly fine. There are, first and foremost, is the multiverse. Yeah, the manifestation as a universe. But when we say universe is the one which so far the mankind has discovered. Yeah, we only know what is discovered. And we have discovered probably 0.0001% of the actual existence. So you can imagine there's a lot and lot of things that we do not know, but they exist. It's just that we do not know. And in our Sanatana Dharma, it is always mentioned that there are different frequencies, different planes, where exactly what is happening here is happening there. Yeah, there's a parallel universe or multiverse. And it is now that some of the scientists have trying to understand and accept it, because there are people who exist, who live among us, but they do not belong to this frequency. So you may not be able to identify, recognize, but you might be already in touch with some people who originate from different frequency. They look alike, like you and me, but the tendency is completely different. So, and that is the reason that they originally come from different planes or different field of existence, where the frequency and the existence is not same as here, but there is life there, and there are different living beings in those frequencies. They come here, or rather they are sent here for a purpose. And because they come from different field or different frequency, who probably are much more spiritually and scientifically advanced. And therefore, they possess certain qualities that we have never thought of. And not that they are here, but they have been here for many thousands of years. It's just that we have never looked upon them with that point of view. There is a belief that the Hindu culture, where we have a tradition of accepting different deities with different shape and form. We never ask questions. We never have a doubt. We never ever felt strange about it. If I name few, you probably understand what I mean. Very popular, very easy to recognize is the body of Sri Ganesha. Sri Ganesha, who is one of the most important deity in Hindu culture, has the face of an elephant. The body is human body with the face of elephant. Second example, different incarnation of Sri Vishnu. He incarnated with different shape and forms. Yeah, starting from turtle to pigs to lion or the monster-like shape. He adapted the shape and form. Yet he had the ability of the discrimination, what we call brain. We also know that most images of our deity have more than 2 arms. Yeah, you may recollect there are those posters or calendars or pictures, images of different gods and goddesses which have more than 2 arms. Also, more than 1 head. Yeah, they have multiple heads. So different shape, size, and form of body were not from this frequency, not from this planet, not from this field. They had this because they belong to different planes, different fields, different frequencies, where there is a possibility that people do have more than 2 arms or less than 2 arms or more than 1 head, less than 2 eyes. For us, it's strange, but it is quite possible. Even on this frequency, if you have ever heard of human races, the history of human race, or rather prehistorical, before the history was ever written, there lived a race, human race. I understand with whatever that I have read a little bit, the first race on this frequency of this planet were not physical. They did not have physical body. They only possessed subtle body. They did not have. And many thousands and millions years later, as evolution happened, a new race evolved, which had a physical body. And with that physical body, they continued their. But that physical body had no gender. There were no male or female gender, just one gender, just one body. And that race lived for many million years. After the further evolution came about different gender which had female and male separation. And with that gender, the first known in history was what is known as Atlanteans. And then came the Lemurians. So these 2 races are very prominent, very significant existence, because Atlanteans were the most advanced human race. They were much more advanced than what we are today, but it got destroyed. It got destroyed with multiple reasons. During the time of Atlantean race, a new race was just about to start, and that was Lemurians. And Lemurians picked up the advanced technology and spiritual knowledge, so they became kind of a rivals to Atlanteans, and eventually they had a fight, and millions of, it is known as about 60 million Lemurians were perished. But some who survived, they went under in the caves of particular mountain, which is today geographically located near the border of South America. And the Atlanteans who survived, some of them went to the poles, South Pole, and they managed to survive there. And that's how there is a civilization existing in those areas even now, after billions of years. So the size and shape and the form have changed, but the origin is the same. And I would stop that here now. If you find this interesting, I can continue talking on this next Tuesday. It may find a bit superficial or fancy or unbelievable, which is okay. I did not believe when I heard first, but after a certain amount of study, I have reason to study more or be open-minded and check the possibility of being true. It could be true. I'm not sure, but there are possibilities that this is true. And if we decide to talk further, I will also give you some more information about the existence under the South Pole and the North Pole, what is known as a hollow earth, and the civilization and the proof of such existence. I just need to have feedback if this is waste of time for you, or if you have interest to hear or gain some more information.
Very interesting.
Ultimately, I will end when we finish this subject. It is direct connection to our subject of spirituality. It may sound a bit out of this world, but it has profound understanding on spirituality.
Acharya, I have tried to study on these concepts also, but I always felt it was hypothetical. It was like creation out of, it was hypothetical, but you're making it sound very real. So it's very interesting. Till now, I always thought this was a hypothetical discussion, that probably there is a parallel world, probably there is another universe.
Yeah.
I haven't done much research.
That's the nature of human mind. Even when Einstein was presenting his theory of gravity, there were more than enough people who were opposing it. So for every subject, there are two forces, one in favor, one in against it. So, but my only interest is that is it true that we are the only one in this universe? We all know that existence is so vast. It is so vast that we cannot even have ability to even imagine. If that is the case, then is it also not strange that we are the only one that exists? Don't you think there are possibilities of other life forms existing in other places other than Earth that we know? or within earth?
Possible.
If one has that open mind, then it's worth studying
Exploring.
about that and try to relate it to the subject of the
Spirituality.
consciousness and energy.
Yes.
Interesting avenue.
So let me know. There are about 6 of you or 7 of you, 6 or 7. If majority are interested to pursue this further, we can talk or suggest me subject or questions that you want to. So next time, because I want to cover up as much as I can share. I can only speak what I personally know. All right. So can we please just close your eyes gently, sit comfortably. And let us chant Om. 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 Asato ma Sagamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, God, for giving us air to breathe. Thank you, God, for giving us water to drink. Thank you, God, for giving us sun for energy. Thank you, God, for giving us food to eat. Thank you, God, for giving us good health and happiness. Thank you, God, for giving us positivity. Thank you, God, for giving us all that we need. Thank you, God, for your love, your protection, your guidance, your blessings. Thank you, God, for the existence. Thank you for giving me a chance to serve you. Thank you.
Thank you, Acharya ji.
Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
Acharya ji.
Thank you, Acharya ji.
Thank you.